Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome wherever you are to the Being Your Own CEO Success Circle. We get together because we like each other's company and we like exchanging ideas and information and experimenting. And we all give each other some degree of support as well. I think you will know something about what we all stand for by reviewing the operating principles on the Being Your Own CEO Success Circle page. My name is Lowell Ann, and I've been in business a long time, helping people get where they want to go through coaching and consulting. So welcome everyone. This morning, I would like to give everybody here a chance to introduce themselves. And so I'm going to go with my left hand. I guess that might be everybody else's right hand, I think. I'm not sure. So Alana, how would you like to introduce yourself?
That's me. I'm on. Hi, everyone. Alana here from Ireland, and it's about after 5 o'clock here. My website is emptynester.blog.com, where I teach empty nesters to make their own money online, creating their own online income. And I also am a part-time virtual assistant, so that's my other business. So happy to be here, and just trying to stay warm. It's gotten quite cold here recently, so yeah, time to turn the heat on.
Yes, it's cooling off here as well.
I heard you guys got snow. Did you get snow?
We did. Very light dusting one day last week. I forget which day it was, but yeah, we did.
The city shut down. It was shut down, man.
Oh, yeah. No, it wasn't. and this city has a lot of little microclimates. So some places got snow and others didn't. So I was telling Roland earlier that on my walk along the beach this morning, I saw the most incredible sunrise. It was somewhere between red and orange and purple.
Yeah, I saw that too. That was pretty wild.
And we could see all the mountains. The sunrise was behind the mountains. It was amazing, just amazing. So. So that's the value of getting up early, is you get to see the sunrise. This time of year especially. So yeah, so I'm happy you're here, Alana. So Fred, what's up with you? You haven't are you just about to leave yet, or we're not hearing you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I leave on Sunday the 19th, so I'll be here next Tuesday, and then I won't be here for a couple months till the end of January, probably February, because I'll be in Australia. Yeah.
Wow.
But I'm Fred Jones.
And
I'm in Victoria as well, so I saw that light dusting of snow on well, it was Friday morning when I saw it.
Was it? Yeah.
But in Sydney, because I was in Sydney at the time. But as I drove into town, then you could see the cars. Some had a lot on it. My car had nothing on it. But anyway, I'm working with young people with ourfutureleaders.ca, and I help them with their communication skills, leadership skills, help them as they become an adult to have self-confidence. And that's exciting. I enjoy it a lot. So that's what I do here in Victoria, and I'll be doing it in Melbourne, Australia in a few weeks' time.
Do you have relatives there? What was the attraction to go there?
Yeah, I have grandchildren, a daughter, obviously son-in-law, and 2 grandchildren. And yeah, so I'm going to spend 2 months with them in the summer, in their swimming pool in their backyard.
Of course.
So if it's going to be a cold, snowy winter in Victoria, I'll be in a nice, warm climate. And they have a lovely swimming pool in their backyard, and I have a little cottage right at the end of the swimming pool. So
perfect. Wow, that sounds like a really good plan. Go to where it's summer.
Yeah, we're apparently going to go camping, and they're talking about even going to Tasmania and camp in Tasmania for a short while. That should be interesting.
Oh wow. Oh well, we're going to look forward to hearing all of your news about your experiences there.
So I'll be here next week, and that'll probably be the last until I get back. Probably February would be when I join you again.
It'll be fun. Right on.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you're here.
Me too. Always glad to be here.
So Jay, what's going on with you? I saw a really interesting Instagram thing that you posted.
Oh, right. Oh, the pumpkin smash. Yeah. That was, I know I did it in slow motion. Hi, my name is Jay, and my company is Magi Studios, where we help people get started in the world of online marketing through coach, consulting, and training. Hailing from Victoria, British Columbia, and yes, what Lao Lan was referring to is I had posted a short video of a 125-pound pumpkin being dropped from a 150-foot ladder onto a parking lot. It was a fundraiser for muscular dystrophy put on by the Langford Fire Hall. And yeah, so you can go and bring in your Halloween pumpkins, and they'd hoisted up their 150-foot fire truck ladder, and they just dropped them onto the parking lot, where like there was one that was literally I think it was 125 or 150 pounds. The thing was massive, and it just decimated. I just went poof. Yeah. And I had filmed it in slow motion, so it was pretty neat to see this massive pumpkin just go poof in slow motion. So yeah.
Oh, you can tell what I do when I get up in the morning.
Yeah.
First place I go is Instagram.
Insta satisfaction with Instagram.
Right.
So yeah, that was pretty cool.
Right on. So I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
As usual. So Roland, you're next in line, and I see you sent me a link to the green room link. Oh.
Hi. Yeah, we have a member outside who would like to come in, but he's having an issue there. Hi, my name is Roland from MinMax Media, where I teach people about the minimum you need for maximum impact, and I like to work with newbies and entrepreneurs that are trying to build their businesses. So that's what, and we focus on how to build up the best live streaming, engaging event right in your own website.
Mm-hmm. Right on. So I just posted the green room link there. So
Okay, thank you.
We know that Aaron is going to join us, and he this is going to be a practice session for him. So so Heidi, what about you? How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm Heidi from Italy, and at the moment I'm cutting conversations in pieces and post them on YouTube and post them on how is it called, SoundCloud and everywhere. So I'm what you call repurposing what we have done in the past, and I am doing the wisdomfactory.net, and next Thursday, that is in 2 days, Fred Jones will be with us. And if you want to see it, and click on the Wisdom Factory /live streaming, and it will lead you to his event page.
Sort of an interview.
I'm looking very much forward to hear about his projects, which is.
Yeah. And I certainly would love to be there, but Thursday's the one day that I am not available, so I'll have to do it as a viewer after the fact. So I see Aaron. Yeah,
we might change.
It's Heidi. It's impossible to find a time that's convenient for everybody. There's no way you can do it. Which is why we like to have these recordings so that people can participate later. So, right on. So I see that Aaron is here. Aaron, are you able to introduce yourself?
I guess I can, but for some reason I rebooted my computer twice. Google is not picking up my camera, so I'll do without a camera.
Dang that Google.
Really? I'm sorry. I knew, Roland, take it easy. It's not Google, I know. But anyway, I'm Aaron. I'm a 7-year post-stroke survivor. I am the founder of Stroke TV, where we transform and empower stroke survivors to become stroke thrivers.
Right on. And I like your terminology, from survivor to thriver. I think that's really inspiring.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, welcome here. I'm glad you stopped by.
I'll keep trying to figure out the camera. Maybe Roland can help me work on the side and the side chat. Figure out why my cameras don't work. I have no idea.
Okay. All right. So this morning, we have talked about Lightstream a little bit. It's come up in our conversations a little bit over the past few weeks, and I know that I watched Roland's Friday rant, where he was using the Lightstream, and I just thought it would be really interesting to explore what we know so far. So, and I've been playing with it without a hell of a lot of success, I must say. So I thought, at least to begin, I would, for those who haven't been there, I'll share my screen. I have Lightstream open, so you'll be able to see what it looks like. So I'm going to do that right now. So you can see that now if I turn away from the camera, it's going to show that I am, but I have this up on a second screen. So pardon me. And as I think about using this, one of the things that really attracts me is that once I figure out how it all works, I should be able to just have one screen up and one control panel, instead of having to bounce back and forth from one screen to another, et cetera, et cetera. So that's one of the advantages that I see with this, is to have that everything you're doing on one screen. So you can see that I could move this out of the way so you can see. So you can see that it is a little bit like OBS, although much, much simpler, I think. So you can set up scenes, and there are various layers that you can add. And it looks like there should be a chat stream over here on the left, although Roland seems to think that it's not active just yet. And if you're live streaming, you can see up here on the right, it says go live. When you click on that and you do go live, eventually you see yourself as you show up in this box here. So you can stream to YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Roland, can you think of anything else that you can stream to?
Right now, they're only set up for those three.
Yeah.
But then the further adjustment to that is that if you can capture the embed code from any of those resources, you can then forward it to any number of other resources to embed it. But the problem with Lightstream presently is that they do not give you advanced information regarding the URL that you'll be broadcasting to. So you don't know what that URL is until you broadcast. They have promised me that that's a feature coming in the future.
Right on. And so up here, you can, the things that seem to be available are text and image and camera and share screen. Now, one of the things that I found disconcerting about all this, I have watched a number of their tutorials, and the tutorials show a whole lot of other things that are not, that I don't see when I open it. So I guess what we need to do is actually acknowledge and understand that that this Lightstream has been developed and is used extensively by gamers, and that we are not their usual customer. So all of the tutorials that you see relate to setting up your game and doing various things from there. So so that, as you can see, though, it's a very simple layout, and that's the piece that I really like about it.
If I could comment to enhance this, basically, since it was devised as a facility for gamers, and by the way, I want to do the shout out for Jay on this, because he's the one that first said Lightstream to me and set me off to my research on this project. And I have a feeling that Lightstream is going to be a big player in the future. It may even replace Hangouts on Air for a lot of its uses. If Hangouts on Air got dropped off, I would be relying on Lightstream to finish their development. But anyway, the concept is that Lightstream is designed for gamers, and so that really helps them out and do their thing. What you have to consider, what they're doing is they're showing the game that they're playing, and they're playing their camera feed at the same time. So they have ways of intermixing the two. And what they want to do is have a feed coming from their game, which requires, in essence, a plugin or a connector of some kind. It's not called the same thing, but there's a way to feed the game feed into the screen capture and superimpose your camera at the same time. And that facilitator is the same thing that we will do with music or live games and that stuff. So there's a way to feed that in, but you have to know what that facility is.
Learn how to do it yet.
That's beyond my education so far.
Yeah,
but it's coming.
Can I add something?
Please do.
As Roland knows, I am fairly versed in OBS. Lightstream is proven to be user-friendly. it's an amazing platform. I'll be honest with you. I'm probably gonna convert probably at the end of, by the end of this week. I'll be converting from OBS to Lightstream.
Aha.
So I encourage anybody that wants to live stream to use Lightstream.
Aha.
But remember that there are problems in the development now that are somewhat limiting. So you'll run into problems, but if we're patient, these developments are going to probably set us free.
Yeah, I know. But it's new, right? Well, it's new.
Well, a good indicator is if a program or a group or an association is on YouTube and they're popular, they're going to have thousands of subscribers, right? At least a few thousand, possibly 10, possibly hundreds of thousands of subscribers. They have about 500. So they're new. Yes, they are new.
Brand new.
So I had a few questions in my own mind, and Roland answered one of them. I was curious, as you can see here, there's a you can get show the link, so you can this is what you would use to invite somebody into the green room. And my question, of course, because of the way that I do this show, the first question for me was, how many people can I invite into the green room? And Roland, you said you thought you saw something somewhere that indicated that it looked like 8. So that isn't 10 that you can have in Hangouts, but 8 is not bad. So, and so the other thing that I wanted to show was that you can, I haven't figured out how to get rid of this thing unless it's this, I don't know. There, you can see that you can add a text. And there are some other layers that you can get. So, and then one of the tutorials I watched talked about text files, which would allow you to show things like a countdown, or to be able to put up what's playing now, and so forth. So there are going to be a number of things that are going to make it really, really easy for us instead of bouncing back and forth. So anybody have anybody else besides me and Roland and Aaron use or looked at any of this? What about you, Jay? Have you gone in and looked at this and played with it at all?
Yeah, I actually got an email from the team at Lightstream saying, we had this massive surge of people sign up with our service coming from, looks like the traffic was coming from Wealthy Affiliate. So at any rate, they reached out to me just to say thank you for making the recommendation. And so we had a brief conversation, and I gave them some thoughts and whatnot. So the good news is that because they see this as a great opportunity, and their intention is to break into the mainstream market beyond just the gaming market. So I mean, expect some positive changes to accommodate people like us, which is great. And anything that's built for gamers in terms of streaming, it's going to be a reliable, stable product, because in terms of the amount of processing computer speed that they require, and also bandwidth that they require to seamlessly create a good stream, whether it be on YouTube gaming or on Twitch or any of the other game stream channels, it's going to be, because it takes a lot of computer resources to be able to do that. So when it comes to just us, we don't use as many resources as they would. So in terms of stability, it's fantastic. The other great thing is that because it's a browser, basically a browser run application versus software, it's a lighter framework, and also it's using Chrome's. It's also using, if you want to geek out a bit, it's using something called Google Engine, which is code by Google. That's what it's built on, the framework. So yeah, it's pretty damn powerful, and it's going to be, it's pretty fast. It's very lightweight in terms of computer resources. So, if someone like us is going to be just streaming our camera and maybe our desktop and stuff like that, it's fantastic. The one thing that I want to see sooner than later is chroma key, so I can use my damn green screen.
There you feel, brother. I use chroma key on my OBS, and that was the only reason I'm not using Lightstream is because it doesn't have the ability to use a chroma key or play media files.
Yeah.
I have some pretty stellar intros I cannot use because of it.
Well, your intros are another story, right? But the concept for Lightstream is that media files will be able to be played, apparently up to a 200 meg file, which they are working on. Chroma key is coming, and they're going to be adding that, so you'll be able to do your green screen. So they've answered all the questions for me that I think solves the problems that I would have in integrating with the VCP plugin and having them live stream to my website. Plus, add all the things in OBS, or enough of them that I don't need OBS.
Right.
The comparison resource consumption is less than a quarter of what OBS. Now, granted, OBS is probably the mother lode of resource hogs, but it uses less than a quarter and much less than most others that they mentioned. So from the bandwidth standpoint, and being on a Google engine, as you say, and with YouTube being a Google engine, and with the comment stream being a Google engine, the VCP plugin is Google, and it's going to be very lightweight, very fast, and very stable.
So I noticed also that I was asked to go in somewhere in this process was to go in and activate a Chrome extension. So that's part of the process. So Aaron, I saw you waving.
Yeah, I'm trying to be right about this. I'm learning, so bear with me because I'm learning.
It's okay.
But
that's what this is
I think
for.
the reason my fingers probably pretty. That training came from Roland, by the way. But he tells me to raise my finger, so I'm hoping it's okay.
Yeah.
But has anybody experienced with chroma key? Now, Roland, I'm watching Loanne in Hangouts. How's that possible? How am I watching Loanne in Hangouts?
She has a blue backdrop, but not a chroma key result. In other words, she's not going with a superimposed background. She has a curtain that's blue hanging behind her. Just the same way you've got a green background hanging behind you, she's got a blue one. But she is not using green screen effect.
No.
Nor is she using blue screen effect.
Yeah. I have a what's known as a Japanese trifold screen, and then I just drape fabric over the screen.
Well, no, I'm just saying. I'm seeing you when she was sharing her screen. She was in Lightstream. She was using
Lightstream.
Yeah.
But how does she do that? Because
that's just
put a skin over herself.
No, that's just her camera capturing.
Oh, it is
the very same thing. That was the dashboard of Lightstream.
Yeah. Well, okay, awesome. I'm excited.
So
I think she was sharing her screen. That might be the answer too.
It was a share screen.
share screen, and then you can see what's on her screen. That's what
That
my
is the
is.
key I was looking for. So share
That's what I
screen
Share
capture,
screen.
and that allows you to stream into Hangouts. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really, I wasn't sure whether it was going to work or not.
I was impressed. I was
You know, we're all about experimentation. So,
good. Well, you did great, Lorianne.
well, I've still got lots to learn, believe me. So Heidi, I know you're doing a lot of shows, and I guess what I'm curious to know whether you would find something like this useful.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm thinking, because I'm not anymore happy with Google Hangouts. And this webinar jam thing with having to change the speaker view by hand, that was really disastrous. And it also, I saw that it cut out moments, and it's using a lot of resources. So hearing Roland saying that this thing is using much less resources also for other guests, it's really interesting. But I have the 3 questions. One is with the plugin. The second question is, what does these things cost? And the third, is it recorded, and how is it recorded, and so on? And how to, you know, how to do all that. You said you get only the link in the last moment when you already begin to stream, so you have to.
Yeah.
So
I can answer all the questions.
Yeah, go ahead, Roland.
Okay, first of all, Lightstream is developing the facility so that they will offer the URL for the YouTube feed or the Facebook feed in advance. So you can plot out your events a week early and then find the URL to send people to, and it will be constant so that when you go live, it'll be at that URL. So that will solve that problem. Right now, it doesn't have that. So what happens, you have to wait till you stream live, then you have to access the live feed and capture the URL and then put that into the VCP plugin. But to answer your second question, it does work with the VCP plugin. That's how I've been doing my Friday vlogs. So I have my comment stream there, and I've got my video there, and people are commenting, and I'm talking to them as they're commenting. I'm not chatting back because I've only got one hand available, but it works fine, and it produces a pretty good video. So
Roland, you should license the plugin to them.
Well, a couple things. This is off the subject of what Heidi was asking, so you might have to ask me about the questions again, but I had the answers for all of them. But to follow up with Jay, I'm in a dialogue with Lightstream people, and Stu Grubbs was probably going to come on my show in the next 3 weeks or so and talk about Lightstream, demonstrate it, and tell us exactly what he's promising us for future development. So it's coming down the pipe. He's going to be on Saturday Morning Marketing Smarties in the next few weeks. And so back with what Heidi was asking, there are several things that I thought of regarding your show. First of all, I hope I answered the questions, and please type them in if I miss anything. But when it comes to the camera feeds, when you're in Webinar Jam or in Be Live, those are boxed productions, okay? They're boxed. And so the thing about Lightstream is you have the option of going 16:9 ratio, 4:3 ratio, or 1:1 ratio. You can decide which one you want. And the Be Live effect and the Webinar Jam was all 1:1 ratio. However, if you were to use the 4:3 ratio, you could incorporate more camera angle, or even if you use the 16:9 ratio, you would have even wider camera range, and then you can resize the camera feed to fit into the screen and put your guest in a 1:1 next to you. So you would have a 16:9 or a 4:3 space for you and Mark, and then your guest would have a single space 1:1, and you could resize them apparently any way you want to, so that they both fit on the screen. So you'll be able to both be in the camera feed without having to scrunch over and jump into the camera and stuff. It's going to catch you, no problem.
But it's not like in Zoom that you can choose one person at a time or all together on the screen.
No, it doesn't have. It does not have vocal activated camera switching.
That's a bad thing. I like this one of Google Hangouts very much. So
Yes, but Google Hangouts for this, I think they're exclusive to this particular feature. Nobody else does this. That other than manually switching from camera
but
view and who's being featured.
As far as I know, Zoom does it.
Yeah, for $500 a year or $600, $700 a year, you can do that. But Aaron, did you have a question?
Well, first of all, Roland, what you just went over is a game changer for me. I've been looking for this 16 by 9 or 9 by whatever, and being able to fit on my screen, numerous 3-4 people on my screen, capture their and frame them high definition. What is the measurements? Is there such a thing as an aspect ratio or measurement of 1080p? Or
No, the 1080p refers to a resolution, which is the actual quality of the video. When you go up and up and up in numbers, what it's saying is it's putting more spots or pixels or elemental units into the video, which means it comes out clearer when we're looking at it. If it's fuzzier, it's probably more like a 720 or less resolution. But the ratio is literally the width of the video feed times the height of the video. So when they say 16 by 9, that's a typical widescreen TV. It's a typical feed for YouTube. It's typical for your computer monitor probably, whereas the old ones before these were more commonly 4 units wide by 3 high, so they were a little bit narrower and taller. But now the widescreen is very popular, and it took me a while to adjust my brain to the thinking, but man, I love them.
Well,
with Lightstream, you'll have the choice of going 16 by 9 ratio, 4 by 3 ratio, or 1 by 1 ratio. And right now they're working on being able to invite guests in with the same parameters. Right now, you can only invite guest parameters in with 16 by 9 and 16 by 9. And so you're stacking those. But later on, they'll be able to be either that or 4 by 3 or 1 by 1. You can basically duplicate the emulation of what you find in BeLive TV and other facilities.
So another question that Heidi had was the cost. And right now, my understanding is it's free.
It is free.
I don't know what the future plan is. That's
the future plan, as I understand it, is that they may have a premium version that's paid for, but their present plan is to always have one free version so that people can get started and get the basics, and then they're going to add some premium features and advanced features that there will be a charge for.
Yeah, it's a startup company, so build a base of clientele and then take the candy away and charge them for it.
Yeah.
and then stock it to them.
Well, now if they follow what they've said, and I'm going to really put the thumb screws on them when they come on the show, is that they plan on always having a free version, which basically preempts the competitiveness of everyone else hitting the $500 a year mark and trying to get that nut from everybody. It's like if they don't compete with the price, if they always have a free version, then they're always going to be the first choice for people that come along. And if they've got a better product in the first place, then free in the first place is going to keep them on the head of the wave. And I like that concept because they'll find a way to monetize above and beyond and around that if they build the goodwill that having this free platform is going to bring. That's the same philosophy I have for the VCP events plugin. is I think more people will get it and know that it's of value this way, and it's going to get the name out there much, much faster and more powerfully with the right spirit involved, because I'm all about the giving first.
So one of the things that I feel the need for, and so Roland and Tim and I have said we're going to experiment and play. And one of the things that I think we're going to need, all of us are going to need, I will need, is an actual kind of checklist, a step-by-step checklist, so that those of us that want to come on and use this will have something really simple to follow. Which is unlike what their tutorials are. I mean, all of the tutorials are speaking to gamers, and they speak way too fast. They move around their screen way too fast, and so I mean, gamers are, you know, that's the nature of a gamer. They do things really quickly online, etc., etc. That's not going to be the same crowd as we all are. So I'm thinking we're going to really need to develop some easy to follow checklists.
Agreed. Agreed, Luana. And the thing about it is, when Google came up with Hangouts on Air, they did not make it for us. You know, it was an educational platform, but we came along and we started using it the way we wanted to use it. And that's the same thing that's happening to Lightstream.
Yeah.
So we are coming along now. We're saying, hey, this is a neat facility, but we're going to use it like this. And these kind of little pressures are going to make changes in the focus of what Lightstream is doing. So when they come to the conclusion that there's a vast market beyond the gamers, I think that the light bulb will go on. So that's part of what I would like to see happen when I have Stu on the Saturday Morning Marketing Smarties show, is that they become enlightened as to what our needs are and how to really emerge as a winner for us, a winning platform.
Aaron.
You know, guys, I've basically been born and raised on OBS. And I'm telling you right now, Lightstream is a game changer. It really is a game changer. This Loan, I am so Loan. That's a very hard for my stroke mouth to say that.
Hey, listen, my friends call me LA. If that's easier, go for it.
LA is perfect, but I could do that. But I will say this whole show is amazing, LA. I'm glad you did it. Thank you.
I'm glad you came. Yeah. So now we haven't heard from Alana. Do you see any potential here for you, Alana?
Perhaps in the future, but one of the questions I had was, I don't know if it's been addressed. I was following something on your other feed there. Can you like record it and upload it to YouTube? Can you do that with it?
It does it automatically.
It does it automatically. So as you're doing a live stream event, it's actually being recorded and uploaded to YouTube automatically. That's very cool. And I appreciate the fact that it's browser based and it's not really taking up a lot of bandwidth, because I know that's an issue as well. So yeah, it does sound like Aaron said, it could be a game changer.
Yeah. So I have a question for Roland. So of the three platforms that we mentioned earlier, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, does that mean does this mean that you can record simultaneously to all three?
No, you have to pick one.
You have to choose one. That's what I thought. Yeah.
But you can use any one of those facilities, and you can then live stream to your VCP plugin from any of those places. You can double back into the VCP event. And also, if you do it to YouTube, you can forward the feed to Facebook. And I believe with some work, we can figure out how to probably Facebook it to YouTube too. But that's, you know, I'm not sure why we would
Right.
bother doing that.
So
about that, I have figured out that what who was it? Nathan had discovered that you could stream your Google Hangout on Facebook. It doesn't take the embed code anymore, and it doesn't even take a URL of a video anymore. It shows only a preview, but not the whole video. So I don't know. I think they are really not very friendly with it.
Well, when I'm doing my Saturday morning marketing smarty show, we are of course in YouTube. We are of course in my DIYLivestreamingshow.com website via the plugin there. And at the same time, we are live streaming to a Google event page. And at the same time, we're streaming live to Facebook. So that's as much as I really technically need. The difference for Facebook is when you do a light stream to Facebook, you can embed it in their video library in your page. Whereas when you do YouTube, it just is an embed in your stream, but it's not a video that's added to your collection in Facebook. Because if you look, Facebook's got a tab that is dedicated to all your Facebook videos. So Lightstream contributes directly to that stream and is recorded as a Facebook live video.
You know, I was just thinking about, you know, all the things that we have available to stream now. I think Lightstream's awesome, but you know, I think imagine us having this conversation, say 10 years ago, saying, you know, hey, I'm gonna light stream into your YouTube so I can show it on Facebook. You know, just imagine how confused people would be, you know. But one of the great things that I really like about Lightstream is that it makes things easy, you know. Forget about 4:3 or 16:9, or forget about, you know, OBS with showing a portion of your screen so that you can broadcast that area only, and so on and so forth. It just, I mean, I think the one inherent problem with live streaming these days is not so much the output, but the effort that the broadcaster has to do while broadcasting. You know, it's like you're like the Radar O'Reilly of MASH, and you're kind of doing all these things that you have to do to be able to create a really good broadcast solopreneur show. And I think Lightstream really does make it a lot easier, you know, yeah. And it really makes it less complex. And it should be less complex because we should not have to go and click all these things and all this kind of stuff. As a quick side note, there are small little boxes of hardware that you can actually purchase. Like if you wanted to switch back and forth for things, you can actually buy on Amazon a little box with all these little buttons, and you could program those buttons to do certain things, whether it be with OBS, Lightstream, you know, whatever software you end up using. And it's dramatically easier. I actually just got one, and I used it last Friday. And it's just a little box, a little piece of hardware. You just go click, click, click. So, I mean, that's something, you know, if you're finding that you're having trouble with, you know, panning from A to B and shot A to B, you know, you can use these little pieces of hardware. They're only like $100. So, yeah, anyways, those are my 2 cents.
That is a really, I mean, I'm sorry, Lolan. That is a really, really good point. Analog versus digital. There are everything that you do with digital and analog, you can do it either way. But there are, on a lower end production, there are advantages to have the video or resource switcher that you just described. And it takes a lot of the digital processing and the unsurety of the digital processing away. And that resource, the video resource, works really well. So that was a good clue, Jay. I'm sorry, Lolan, go ahead.
Well, I'm looking at the time, and I just wanted to acknowledge that Vivek is out there, as is Andrew Hatchett. And I'm sorry that I just don't have the facility to try to manage posting and sharing those comments. But I did want to acknowledge that they're there. And there are some really good, useful comments in there, I think. So when you get a chance to go to the page, you'll see what their comments are. So I think we have covered as much as we can today. No doubt we will be covering much more as time goes on, and we figure out how all these pieces work. But I agree with Aaron, as he was saying, I think this is a game changer. So I'm thinking that it's time to remind everyone that it's important to do what you love with passion, and to say, hopefully we will see you again next week at the same time. So so long for now, and thanks for watching.